Hello and welcome to episode 56 of MisanthroPod. I'm Snipe and as always I'm joined by Wib. Say hello.
Hello.
And I'm also joined by drummer Matt. Say hello.
Hello.
How are you lovely gentlemen this day?
I am okay. I am unfeasibly warm, but I am okay.
Yeah, this heat wave kind of struck the UK because, yay, global warming, which is a real thing. You can never be too sure nowadays, let's just say. So yeah, we're all a bit frazzled. I've heard France is...
Yeah, it's up to, I think, 34 by this afternoon, so that's why we're now recording in the morning when it's only like, I don't know, 30 something probably, still.
It's only 30
It's okay, I'm
Celsius.
sat in my pants, so everything's fine.
Good.
Dude, snap. Well, I'm sat in my booty shorts and a massively oversized Black Sabbath t-shirt.
Only the classiest for this podcast.
Oh,
Exactly.
yes, absolutely.
But apart from slowly melting, are you alright, Matt?
Yeah, I've had like a slow burner cold for the last like few days, which has been a bit annoying.
Cold and a heat wave.
Yeah, I know. I was like, I don't even body. Why are you doing this? It's the warmest it will ever be, and I have a cold.
It just sounds like it's having a massive paddy attack, honestly.
Yeah, so I'm hoping it gets better. But at the weekend, I've got a long run to do.
How far are you running?
It's a half marathon. So
okay.
I'm hoping that I'm better by then, because I've been like tapering. So for that week before, you do like less running, but I've still been doing it, and it's been in this heat and with a cold. It's just been the absolute worst, and it's going to be just as hot at the weekend, we think.
Oh,
so I'm hoping at least the cold goes, but yeah.
SPF 100, a shit ton of water.
Yeah, that's the plan. Maybe less wine on this one than on the last one, on the way around.
French marathons are strange, you know. You just get fucking rosé and red wine. And
I am in my head imagining, where at the side of the road where they've got the little plastic cups, and they're giving them out.
Plastic wine glasses.
No, it's like full glass wine glasses. You're running past, take a swig, and then put it daintily back on the table, and then carry on.
Yeah,
that is literally what happens.
Really?
Good. Amazing.
It's kind of like...
not all of them.
I can imagine it'd be way classier than, say, how British darts used to be. It's basically the fancy version of British darts.
Yeah, if you don't know about this, there was a point in darts tournaments in the UK that they actually had to ban the competitors from drinking
because they were getting this I was taught this not long ago as well as a foreigner. This is a very interesting peek into Britain's culture.
Yeah, culture is probably the best word, although not at all appropriate.
Well, no, it is culture. The same way that what grows at the back of your fridge when you leave food in there for too long is technically
yogurt
culture.
has a culture.
Yeah, exactly.
So
But yeah, that was the thing that they had to do, was to ban them from drinking.
Because they were getting so fucking wasted.
Yeah, didn't look good.
I can imagine it didn't.
No.
Whereas I can imagine France, marathon wine, I can imagine they make it somehow classy.
Yeah, I've just remembered there was an old Not the 9 O'Clock News sketch, which was an old sketch show in the UK, and it's really good, and loads of people who ended up in things like Blackadder and other sitcoms at the time come from there. And it was a couple of guys looking like they're about to,
throw a dart.
Throw a dart, and then would just reach down and grab a pint and just drink. And it was like competitive drinking. It was like,
oh, yep, there we go. He's lining up the shop. Oh, and he's going for the vodka Coke. Okay, and that's a good, strong start. And just like a massive plate full of every type of drink. Yeah, no. I can imagine the actual reality of it wasn't that distant from the joke.
Not too far. But we should probably stop talking about...
Everyone's here so we can talk about Bullseye and shit like that.
We're not talking about fucking Bullseye.
Oh, okay. I'm glad, because I fucking hate that show.
Best part about Bullseye was the prizes were always shit too.
They had prizes?
Yeah, they were prizes, but they were shit.
Oh, you've won half a packet of Maltesers.
Not that bad, but also close enough.
Okay. A full packet of Maltesers.
Anyway, Matthew...
It's been in the sun for a while.
Matthew, what have you been up to? Please save us from this hell.
Well, I mean, it's not going to get any better.
Good.
Good.
Football, in a word.
Yeah, that's been happening.
For the last 2 weeks, I've spent basically all of my free time watching like 3 or 4 football games a day, which has been, for me, amazing. For you two, and I imagine a fair amount of people who listen to this, sounds incredibly dull.
I was, one of the first days, didn't it start on a Sunday?
I literally have no idea.
Friday, I think. No, Thursday? I can't remember.
Well, I went out on the first Sunday, like, in town, because I needed to go to the gym, and I accidentally skipped breakfast, because I'm the worst. And I thought, I'll go have some breakfast. And I was listening to, like, music or a podcast or something, like, quite loud. And, like, in the actual mall on the ground floor, they had, like, a big TV set up with a bunch of, like, deck chairs that you could just go watch, like, sports. And I'm like, that's kind of cool. I mean, I fucking hate sports, but that's fine. So I'm upstairs in the cafeteria, and I'm, like, listening to my music. I just hear this, like, football noise.
That is football noise, yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ. I am like, I can't get away from I'm sick of them rubbing it in my face every day.
It can't be.
Oh my god!
It can't be more surreal than many years ago. It was actually just before we got together, so it would have been like 2006.
About 100 years ago.
You old.
And there was a World Cup and/or European Cup on.
There was a cup of some description.
Of some kind, and England were playing, and I was walking through town whilst the game was on, and it was so surreal because there was literally no one on the streets, but all of the bars were absolutely packed. Mm-hmm. So it was like a ghost town, but with these small hives of extreme activity. Mm-hmm. And being the one person in this city that didn't apparently give a shit, it just was so surreal. I don't know. It was a weird experience. It sounds like
being out on a hot day in Australia. The streets are bare, but the pubs are packed.
Well, yeah. Yeah. Are there any fun anecdotes from the football?
Well, I heard that Germany is being carried home by a plane.
Yeah, Germany, who won it last year, are out in the first round, basically, this year. Not last year, last time. Which, interestingly enough, has happened...
Please don't click off the podcast. We won't be talking about this forever.
Yeah, that's fine.
Interestingly enough, it's happened 4 times out of the last 5 World Cups. The winner's gone out in the first round the next time, which is quite interesting.
That sounds suspicious as shit, yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't know, it's just, we've got lots of international friends here, so we've got lots of people who support lots of different teams, and just the atmosphere is really nice, and despite it being in Russia, and it possibly being, because there was some issues with, like, various, homophobia attacks and various things like that in the past. Actually, from the sounds of it, most people are getting on, and that the atmosphere over there is really lovely, and everyone's being friendly.
Oh, so, that's which honestly is, a relief.
A slight, just hearing positive news coming out of something that you expect to go badly is always nice, regardless of the context.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how much the Russian media is hiding any of the bad stuff.
Well,
because I mean,
the
their
food
team
is very good here. I am being treated well.
Exactly, but from the look of it, it genuinely seems like everyone's actually getting on, and a lot of people, because a lot of the England players, a lot of the black England players and things were saying to their families, don't go over because we're genuinely scared for you. And actually a lot of them now are saying, actually, it's fine, come over. So it seems to be going a lot better than people thought it might.
Okay, well, I mean, I'm glad to hear that. Because,
and that's not a bad reflection on the Russian people, by the way. It's entirely the government's fault.
Oh, yeah. No. Yeah. The government is like the less than 1%.
The people are being nicer than the government are bad, and that's cancelling out in a positive way. So,
yeah. No, that's nice.
It doesn't matter about the context, but any sort of positivity news is always nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, but yeah, I'm happy for it, even if no one else listening cares.
I'm sure there's like one person who's like, oh, I like it.
I like a football.
And I look at that, sounds like we're insulting them for liking it. It's like, we're just too nerdy.
I come from a family that really, really like football, and they seem somewhat perplexed by my utter indifference to it.
How can you not like the football?
My dad is absolutely sure that one day I'm just gonna, somehow drop this facade or something.
Like, every time football comes up, your dad's like, I remember when I took you when you were a kid to see matches and you were super into it. And I'm sitting there going, I used to eat dirt.
I used to watch the Brave Little Toaster all the time. I didn't have taste as a child.
I used to watch Little Bear.
Fuck Little Bear.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Which Little Bear are we talking
The
about?
naked little bear.
Oh, the naked bear. Yeah, no, that one's horrifying and terrible.
Because I was just like, what the fuck? I used to watch Okie Doke.
Yeah, I vaguely remember Okie
I
Doke.
also used to eat a lot of raw vegetables that you shouldn't eat raw, like potatoes.
You shouldn't eat potatoes raw.
I know, but my parents were really shit.
Well, that's true.
So they'd let me eat raw everything. But yeah, so I'm just gonna say, just because you just appeared that you liked football when you were younger, doesn't mean that you're gonna like it as an adult.
And it might be that I saw enough games to go, well, I think I've seen all this now.
It's pretty, yeah.
I mean, just to play devil's advocate for a while, the same can be said of, competitive esports or anything. It doesn't have to be football.
Oh no, competitive esports are pretty dull as well.
I don't like competitive esports.
No, I know.
The only reason I don't like competitive esports is because I just want everyone to have fun, but they're also like...
Yeah.
Was it the Shanghai Dragons, the Overwatch team? Were like, oh yeah, we have to practice 70, fucking 2 solid, 100 billion hours a week or something stupid. And it's just like, that's not fun anymore.
I guess that's the thing. When it does become a career, a sport thing, then you've got to, take it more seriously.
Yeah.
And that's not gaming for me personally. So
that's not something I'm interested in.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything for me. Anyway.
Yeah, have there been any fun, memorable moments from the Kicking Football Cup?
Yeah, England are doing all right.
Okay.
So far, which is good, which is surprising because they usually don't. So
yeah,
is that
quite
right?
Nice. A lot of the teams that people thought were going to be good have been kind of crap, and a lot of the teams that people thought were crap have been doing okay. So that's always fun.
Huh.
I mean, in the end, someone who we expect to win will probably win it. But for now, it's been slightly unpredictable. So yeah, double thumbs up.
Good.
But luckily, it's been 4 weeks since we last spoke about things, which means I actually do have something else to speak about other than football that might be relevant.
Excellent.
So quick up. I've got a joke prepared, guys. Are you ready?
Okay, give me 1 sec. Give me 1 second. Yeah. I'm bracing.
Okay. So
go.
Following on from our list of films that are iconic or slightly embarrassing to have not seen or whatever, the other week we watched Citizen Kane.
Okay.
Citizen Kane.
Citizen Kane. It's the remake with Sean Connery.
I would watch the fuck out of that. How it's literally just a Bond movie. But...
no, I like to imagine he's badly superimposed into the original movie.
Yeah.
Rosebud.
Yeah. And for saying...
See, Rosebud was a ghost the whole time. That's the spoiler.
Yeah. Apparently. For saying it was made in 1941, which is ludicrous.
That's at least 10 years ago.
I was expecting it to be very, very hard to watch. And actually, it was a lot better than I thought it was going to be.
Oh, nice.
Are you ready for the joke, though?
Okay.
I mean, I wouldn't call it the Citizen Kane of films, but...
Fuck off.
Okay, that was amazing. Citizen Kane isn't the Citizen Kane of movies.
But I actually would recommend watching it just to say you've done it, and it is interesting enough, and it's kind of not really much happens, but more happens than you expect in an old film, if that makes any sense at all.
Well, older films the pacing is entirely strange, and there only really seems to be 1 or 2 camera angles.
Yeah, but it wasn't anywhere near as it was slow paced, but lots of it wasn't like 2001: A Space Odyssey. Is very slow and nothing happens.
Oh,
it's still very good, and I really enjoyed it, and it's weird as fuck, but nothing really happens. Whereas this, it was kind of like an arty film made more modern. It was so it was it wasn't anywhere near a blockbustery type thing with action, but it was.
I was hoping it's Citizen Kane storming Nakatomi Plaza.
There wasn't 20-minute dream sequences and slow paced everything. So I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I've been meaning to watch it again myself, honestly, because I saw it years and years ago when I was
kind of a Christmas movie, isn't it?
It has
put those on around Christmas.
It has snow in it.
I mean, the British put random movies around Christmas.
No, Citizen Kane's got nothing to do with it. You're thinking of A Wonderful Life.
I don't know.
I think you are absolutely 100%.
That remains to be seen.
But yeah, I've been meaning to watch it again because I saw it when I was 13 or something.
Okay, yeah, I don't think it's a film for 13-year-olds. Not because it's inappropriate, just because it's...
There's just no tits in it.
Yeah. it is slower than most films at 30. It's slower than Transformers, which apparently is what 13-year-olds want.
Yeah, like at that time I was, I don't know, watching Fast and the Furious or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was out then. I literally have no idea.
It's been going forever, so I imagine so.
Basically. But yeah, I imagine that I would probably enjoy it a lot more now. So I've been meaning to.
Yeah, check it out. The other film we've watched, which is a cinema film, I went by myself because Ruth just doesn't care, as apparently everyone else is the same. I went to see Solo.
Oh, yes. How
I
is
have
it?
yet to see that.
I would say overall, I would definitely give it an above average rating, but it's actually dragged up to a good rating for me just because of how good Don Glover is.
Okay.
To be fair, Don Glover, like, if it was just him sitting on a chair, like, I don't know, reading a book for an hour and a half, I think I'd love it.
He's great, so he elevates a still above average film. Like, it was still enjoyable, and people might know that if anyone went to see it. But
everyone's too busy petitioning to get The Last Jedi remade because,
because everyone is
that's apparently a thing and copyright law doesn't exist and, that's completely obtainable.
Yeah.
Moving swiftly on.
I'm not sure it's worth dwelling on those idiots. If you didn't enjoy it, that's fine. It's valid. It's valid to not enjoy it, but just don't watch it. I don't know. Like,
it seems weird to be like 6 or 7 months later be obsessed with a movie that you don't like.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Solo was good. It's very enjoyable.
You recommend it?
Yeah. Emilia Clarke wasn't anywhere near as terrible as she is in like a lot of films. She's great at being Daenerys, but she's not particularly great at. I don't know. I always find it a bit worrying when she's cast in a film because it usually means that they're going for rather than going for someone who fits the part, going for someone who's just a big name at the moment.
Yeah. No, I mean that's. I'm sure that's like the only problem with Terminator Genesis.
And I'm sure she might not be that disappointing if she was cast for roles that suited her, but she just seems to be cast for roles where they just want a name.
They just want Daenerys because she's from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, well, like Peter Dinklage in bloody Old Destiny and things. It's like they just want it. It's like he's a great actor when you put him in a role that suits him.
Well, I mean, it's like what a lot of fucking companies don't understand is that actor does not equate voice actor. Those are two very different skill sets. I mean, it's the same kind of thing, but it's like basically putting, a helicopter pilot in a Harrier. It ain't gonna fucking work.
Which totally wasn't a real thing, what happened.
Yeah, but no, it's just kind of like, so, like, voice acting is, you've got to do everything while sitting down in front of a microphone. No one's looking at you. You've got to convey all that shit with your voice.
Yes.
Whereas Peter Dinklage is like the master of the walking around, looking a bit dour, and
I don't
swaggering.
Know. I've yet to see him in a role that was not Tyrion.
That's another one who's just good.
And not be a little disappointed. Admittedly,
exactly. It's a similar sort of thing.
Yeah.
Admittedly, he was like the best actor in Pixels, but that doesn't say much.
Well, he was probably like the only actor in Pixels.
Well, yeah, the other ones involved like Kevin James and fucking Adam Sandler, so what do you expect?
Yeah, no.
But yeah, I don't quite see. I don't know why no one's watched it apart from the fact that obviously the Last Jedi thing has apparently had a 6-month delay reaction, or however much it is.
It's kind of like a 6 month continual growling and just being a grumpy little shit.
Yeah, it's just been this never-ending nonsense. I think part of the problem is for Solo, because I've seen some people talking about it, is like it wasn't a movie. It's often said it wasn't a movie anyone wanted.
Because I do remember people going, "Hey, we're doing a Solo movie," and everyone just there was a resounding chorus of why
it wasn't needed, but.
Yeah. But I mean, that doesn't always mean something's going to be bad. I mean, no one wanted a Guardians of the Galaxy movie, apart from maybe Dan Abnett.
Yeah.
But it happened, and it's one of the best entries in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, in my opinion. So, like, sometimes those things can work, but I don't know. I think the general apathy towards the whole idea and it not coming out in the December slot.
Yeah, I don't know why.
When the Star Wars movies, could it have been because it was? Have they got something planned to come out at the end of this year? Or
not anymore, anyway.
Oh yeah.
No, I don't think they have, to be honest.
Because actually, that's really weird.
Because it was meant to be. It was every other year, wasn't it? Like a real Star Wars and then one of the Star Wars stories.
Yeah.
So that means Episode 9's coming out December of next year, probably.
One would assume,
So, I don't know why they did it so early.
So I think not being in that slot, like, to me, that says they're not confident in it already. I mean, maybe that's not the case at all, it's just a coincidence, but that's what it communicates to me. And it's something which people didn't really want. And if you've been paying any attention to it, even, like, slightly, you'll know that it didn't have the best time, like, in production. So, I don't know, I think there's a lot of little factors that meant people were a bit...
I think this entire thing could have been saved if they'd have just used the Beastie Boys song Sabotage from the trailer. Because that was amazing and actually made me give it down.
Yeah. I do still want to go see it, but is it still at the cinema? I don't even know.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, it is here, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you should probably check and maybe go next week.
Yeah, just go in one of in the morning showing where you can get buy one get one free. So it's like ends up being like a quarter of the price of an evening normally.
Yeah.
Because, as it's a bit like the thing with where people were saying they said it, The Last Jedi, going, oh, it's the worst Star Wars movie ever, which it's not.
No.
It's one of the best. But not the best, one of the best, before anyone takes me out of context.
This is the internet, honey.
Oh, yeah. But I kind of have more faith in even a mediocre Disney-made Star Wars movie that is going to be better than Attack of the Clones. Because I think Attack of the Clones is basically a near unwatchable movie. So, I don't know, I think that people have built up the prequels in their minds a lot. Because it's like, those were like the archetypical, the worst movies ever for a long time. But now the new Star Wars has come out, people have, like, retroactively, like, decided they're a lot better than they are.
Yeah, but I'm sorry. Like, they didn't have women in main roles in the old ones. Sorry,
Yeah.
Okay, so if you don't like The Last Jedi, I'm not sitting there and saying that's the reason why, but I'm saying that there is a section of fucking lunatics that's the exact reason they don't like it. Before anyone fucking starts with me.
That's the thing, you have to be so fucking, like...
You have to be so fucking specific.
I think this is the thing that most aggravates me about this entire quote-unquote discourse.
Yeah, it's the subtext.
It's discourse, it's just a bunch of, like, a small group of complete fucking morons.
It's like, no one is saying you're not allowed to dislike something, that's fine. But there's a really vocal group of the people that really dislike The Last Jedi who aren't doing it for, let's say, the most positive reasons.
Yeah, I saw an amazing tweet, actually. It might have been something that you liked, so you might have seen it anyway. But it was someone saying that basically they just couldn't believe that this woman with purple hair in a dress could be an admiral. And then someone replied being like, yeah, and one of the other admirals is a fish. Like,
yeah,
you were okay with that?
It's like, and like, it's a rebel force.
Yeah.
And she's obviously she's very highborn, like she's a fucking aristocrat. So, there's multiple reasons why that completely makes sense.
Also, it's a movie.
It's also a movie! So,
Star Wars isn't hard sci-fi, people. It's not hard sci-fi.
Anyway, let's just stop with it.
Anyway, Solo, go see it while you can, because it won't be out for long.
Yeah.
And they're not making any more of these things, so you might as well see this one.
This is the last Star Wars movie, ladies and gentlemen and others.
They killed it. It's dead now.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, not the film killed it, the fan base killed it.
Yeah.
Just to be clear.
Well, let's be honest. What hasn't been killed by its own fan base?
Yeah, very true.
Football. Oh wait.
I've also on gaming news. All I've been playing for the last 4 weeks or so is Destiny 2. I'm afraid to say. I have very little to say.
Never tried to play with us.
No, well, I was trying. I was trying to get through the story first.
Yeah.
So I've been faffing about with that and various things. I'm a bit stuck now with this. I might ask your advice or something, because I've got up to I've got the expansions, but I was trying to get through as much of the main game content as I could before I installed the expansions and then just powered past a load of stuff.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to sort of try and experience as much as I could. But now I'm getting to the point where I'm at like power level like 260-ish, and it starts getting really slow in terms of trying to get more stuff.
Yeah, you really have to...
It's your eye level grind.
Yeah,
you really have to grind out
and like to do the
high level stuff.
To do the next high level stuff, there is a lot of the strikes and things, but you need 270 for that. So I need to be higher. You don't need it. You can go in earlier, but it says recommended 270. So I tried going into them to get better gear, but then they're so hard.
Yeah.
I was like, but I need to do these things to get better gear, but I need the better gear to be able to do these things. So I'm kind of stuck.
There is a bit of that because I initially did it. I've got the expansions now, but I had the exact same thing of trying to just slowly grind up like half an item level, here and there.
So would you say it's worth just installing expansions and not get stuck on this?
Yeah. You're not. Yeah. The extra stuff that is at the end of that isn't. It's just repetitions of the same thing. Really.
Oh, okay, cool.
And most of the stuff gets like rebalanced to be whatever level you are anyway. So anything you've missed, you can go back and do.
Oh, okay.
So,
that's cool.
And it won't be like in WoW when you go back to a previous expansion and you just walk through on your own like a dungeon.
Yeah.
It's not like
that.
that.
Oh, that's cool.
I do have a brief thing to say about Destiny 2 because I was going to mention it later.
Okay.
Because I got the best item in Destiny the other day,
yes.
which is a pair of trousers that have refrigerated shoes. They refer to them as Frosties, and what that does is when I run, my feet freeze.
Yep.
And therefore my cooldowns are reduced.
Yeah.
Because I'm cooler.
Yeah.
Which is the dumbest thing in the universe, but I kind of love it.
It's amazing. I love it so much.
Because I wondered what it was for the longest time, because I'd seen people in PvP having them, because I just thought, I was like, that fucking hunter's wearing Reeboks. Because they just have ice covering their feet, so just their feet are like bright white.
I mean, like, there were those shoes that everyone was wearing around, like, 2005 that were, like, white trainers with, like, the 3 stripes or whatever down the sides.
And Adidas.
Yeah, everyone was wearing those types of shoes.
They just look like they're wearing bright white shoes, and now I have the bright white shoes, so I'm running around with my lower cooldowns, showing off my Reeboks.
Yeah, but nice. You need Yeezys.
Yeah, well, what now?
That's what everyone likes nowadays.
But yeah, so any thoughts about Destiny?
I'm really enjoying it. It's just enough lack of grind, so there's not that much grinding stuff. Like, you do have to repeat things, but I don't know, I've gone through the story and I've gone through all of the, I can't remember what they are, there's like certain orange missions on the map around, what they called, quests, or I've forgotten what they're called.
The adventures,
that's the word they use. There's enough of those around that I got up to basically this power level without repeating anything so far.
Oh, good.
It's all like new stuff, which is quite good. And I get the end game content is grindy, but it has to be, otherwise, if you just got to the end game stuff instantly, there wouldn't be a game. So I get why the end stuff has to be grindy. But I like that there's not really been that much grindy. It's all been interesting quests up until now. And I think the feel of the guns and everything, and the different feel of the different guns, and the fact that you have to change, because if you want to stay the most powerful, I've just been going through a phase where I've had to use a hand cannon as my main weapon because it's the most powerful. The more powerful you are, the higher level things drop. So I was like, well, I want to be as high as possible.
Yeah.
So I've had to use like a weapon I didn't like and then get used to that and then start liking that. So I like that it does that.
You do know that you can input the power level from other guns into guns you like, right?
Yeah, but they have to be the same class or something.
Yeah, they do have to be the same class.
Yeah, so if you've got a hand cannon that's the most powerful, you can only make that power into other hand cannons, right?
It gets, it has to be and it gets more tricky when you get to sort of end game stuff, because you end up with so many exotic weapons.
Yeah, and you can only have, because I've got my 2 best weapons are exotics, but you can't equip 2 exotic weapons at once.
Yeah, it becomes incredibly frustrating because you're like, I want to use all of them.
Yeah.
But I can only use one.
If you get a class hall upgrade, you can equip more than one legendary item.
That's the World of Warcraft.
Yeah, and it's basically like just a diet version of that.
Yeah, it is. It is.
But you don't have to pay monthly, so.
It's true.
This is true.
But yeah, I mean, I'm enjoying it. I've only just got round to I've just basically until now hoarded all of my legendaries and exotics in the bank thing, vault, whatever it's called, because I was like, I don't know which of these I can safely not disenchant, dismantle. And things I don't dare touch anything yet because I have no idea what's going on. So I just so I went through the other day and was like, okay, actually, it's fairly safe just to ditch all of these things. It's fine.
Yeah. And exotics, you can just remake them anyway if you dismantle them. So.
And I like that there's not a money thing. Like, I hit the gold cap twice. I got hit the gold cap or the not gold, but the money cap twice.
Glimmer.
Just doing glimmer. twice doing the main story. I got to like level 15 or so, and then I had to go and just buy a load of crap just to.
Yeah,
so I didn't.
It
And
is
then
weird.
like,
There's
why is it?
Why
it's
is
like,
there a money cap?
I don't know. It's like weirdly low. Like you hit it by accident all the time.
yeah, the maximum.
It's really stupid.
The maximum glimmer you can hold is 100,000, unless you're getting really obsessive about making sure you've got like really good mods in all your gear. Which, admittedly, at endgame you will end up doing.
Yeah, no, actually, I have now started modding, and that
Yeah.
costs money. So.
But that's about the only thing that actually costs money. Like, there's a few little things here and there that will cost you money, but that's the only important thing. So the money is largely redundant, but it's arbitrarily capped quite low when you get a lot of it.
Yeah.
So it's a weird combination.
Yeah.
I
of
don't
things.
understand that design choice at all.
No.
I don't at all. I mean, I guess if you had more money, then you'd be hitting against the really arbitrary inventory cap of how many mods you can hold. So, but that's also something which they could just double for no reason, and it wouldn't change.
Money cap. Especially because, like, who's going to be selling fucking Glimmer in China?
And one other thing that drives me absolutely insane, though, about its inventory, which is... So, like, you can only hold so many guns. Okay, fair enough. You've got them physically on your person. Having, like, 50 guns in your pocket
Yeah, you can
is
hold
weird,
10 in
but-
each slot, so you can carry around 30 guns.
Yeah, so having 30 guns is ridiculous, but having some limit makes sense because it is a physical item.
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
fair.
Although I don't know when you the things that you hold. I don't know if you like. Not what's the word where you like transmat them.
Yeah,
I don't know if
think you
that's
might.
the like. I don't know.
But the one that really drives me nuts is the little icons that appear behind your name, like your little nameplate.
Oh yeah.
You can only hold 10 of those as well.
Yeah.
They're not a...
That's a fucking concept.
Yeah, it's not a physical object.
Ah.
Why is there a limit of what I can hold? It's not a physical
The
thing.
only thing I can think of is that maybe, and because it's Activision Blizzard, I would say maybe you could, like, at one point during design, maybe they were like, you can pay money to unlock more slots.
But the thing is, it wouldn't make a difference because you can only ever have one showing at any one time. There's no reason to carry around lots of them. But
Because you can just put them. You can put them in your bank vault thing. Like you can't you? Can you?
Yeah, you can put them in your bank
Yeah.
vault.
Yeah, why is there even a carry option?
So-
But you can put them in your bank vault even when you're not at your bank vault. They're like the one thing you can do that to. So it
can you?
becomes even more surreal.
Yeah, I don't.
Like as a design choice.
I guess they couldn't. They just couldn't be bothered to code like you have a 10 limit of everything else, so they couldn't
Yeah.
bother to put in another number.
I think that's the reason. It's just because everything else has the same thing, so they just made that match up. But like, just because everything else, I mean, granted, it does also start getting weird when you have a limited inventory for ships that you fly in.
Yeah.
Because then you're like, well, I can only hold 10 ships in my pocket. What?
Yeah.
Because you're wearing man pockets.
But at least that's
And
again,
jeans.
at least that's a physical entity, so it makes more sense. But I draw the line at holding a concept in your pocket. Like
that's fair.
that's weird.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I'm enjoying it. I need to get on with you at some point because I want to do.
Yes.
There's like a quest for one of the guns which you have to be doing a group. Have you done the Rat King quest thing?
I have not. I've not actually got any of these guns that have quests attached.
Oh, okay. Have
at
you
any
done
point.
the missions for them on each? So you do there's like a mission, well, the blue logo tag thing on the map in each place. There's one of those in each place that you do, and you get some item for, and you get like the start of a quest for the guns.
Yeah. I'm sure I've done some of them, but like
Okay.
sometimes the missions kind of run together a bit in my head.
Yeah. Okay, I'll get on with you at some point. And like one of them is to get this Rat King gun thing, which you need to do. There's like riddles you have to solve. But you have to do it in a group together. So we'll get on and do that at some point.
Cool. So apart from the Destiny, anything else to report?
Yeah, go on. I've got one more thing I wanted to mention, and I can't remember if we
Okay.
mentioned it before, but we keep bringing it up because I wanted to mention it when you mentioned Rick and Morty a while ago, in passing, and then I wanted to mention it again when I was talking about Don Glover.
You just keep calling him Don Glover.
Yeah, I know. I put the pause. I put an ever so slight pause in the wrong place there, just because. Yeah, Don Glover. Yeah, he's great. Have you guys seen Community?
My brother is obsessed with it. He fucking loves Community.
We watched like 5 episodes of it.
Okay.
It was fine.
And it was alright.
It is.
I just never felt the need to go back and watch more.
Yeah, I would very recommend going to see it. It's the same guy. It's Dan Harmon, who's the same guy as Rick and Morty. So some of the humour is a bit similar, but it doesn't have the same fan base, which is always nice.
Yep.
I don't know. It's one of my favourite comedy series. I think it's got like enough interesting, meta, clever humour, but without going too much. And then there's like D&D episodes in it.
My brother keeps trying to get me to watch more of it by going, there's an episode where they just play D&D, and I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah, no, it's yeah.
I'd rather play D&D.
True.
Because then I'm just gonna get really like salty because I want to play D&D, and these fuckers on the fucking TV
on the magic picture box,
the magic moving picture box are just playing it, and I'll get mad.
But I just wanted to... I can't remember if I've mentioned it to you guys before or if anyone else has, but I just thought I'd mention it as a very high recommendation. It does take a little time to get into, like, as all these things do, to be honest.
Yeah.
Especially comedy, especially like comedy ones where it's about the characters. You need to know the characters.
Yeah. Like I said, it was one of those things where it wasn't that saw episodes of it and was like, this is terrible. It's just, I don't know. It was good.
I mean, it was good, but it didn't quite resonate with me.
It was,
for whatever reason.
It might be a thing of, like, if we watched it again, then we might have just not been in the right frame of mind to...
Is it Chevy Chase that's the old guy?
Yeah, he's in it, yeah.
Yeah, he creeps me the fuck out.
Yeah, he was a bit of a weirdo on set, apparently.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's not the sole reason. It's just like, I'm not even talking about Community at that point. I'm just kind of like, Chevy Chase.
Yeah. That's fair.
Not nice.
That's fair. But Don Glover's in that, and he's amazing. But yeah, that's all I've been up to. Mostly sweating and watching football.
Good. So I guess now it is time to ask Snipe. What have you been up to apart from sweating and not watching football?
I was literally about to make that joke. But, I've honestly not been up to much because the last couple of weeks has been pretty horrifying for my mental health.
Oh.
Yeah, I've been having a rough one, but so I've just kind of been falling back on the comfy games, like, playing The Sims or Banished or other little kind of silly, kind of relaxed kind of games like that. But
it's Banished, where all of your people get murderized by the weather.
Yeah, I'm just sitting there going, click, click, better you than me. I'm not that bad. I have like a bunch of mods, so I tend not to just like have a massive critical failure very often.
With the mods you've got installed, I think we've talked about this before.
It's just like chill mode.
Yeah, the end game for you is when the CPU can't handle generating any more content.
That's exactly it. Where all I fill up the map and it just starts getting like, you have too many like people wandering about and we don't know how to properly allocate memory.
Yeah.
But yeah, apart from that, I've watched a few movies. I watched a classic movie myself. I also watched a recent movie. The recent one I watched was Get Out.
Yes, I watched that with you.
I've been wanting to watch that for ages. I'm really upset.
It is really fucking good.
Yeah.
Shock horror, you guys. A good movie is really good.
I'm so upset I missed it at the cinema.
Yeah, no, same.
And then then it came back when they had all the Oscar things coming out around it, and I just missed it then as well. It's just ugh.
Yeah. But no, it's like I was like, I'm just gonna go in there with an open mind, and because I tend to kind of be a bit. What's the word? I'm a bit of a contrarian when it comes to oh yeah, you should totally watch this thing, it's really good. Screams the entire world, and I'm sitting there going,
yeah. That's why I'm always hesitant to recommend things, because as soon as any one person recommends anything to you guys, you default hate it.
I'm way worse than that. I don't default hate it, I just sit there and go, ugh. I'll see it in a year, and if because it's like the first month of a game release, people are like, this literally cured my acne, and oh my god, it brought my fucking pet dog back to life, and it's like, okay, sure, and then like after a month passes, the same people will be like, this is the worst game ever.
And then
don't know why I bought it, and you're like,
and you're like, maybe I should give it a try then.
Maybe I should give it a fucking try now that you've just decided that there are actually problems with it. I've got so many layers of neuroses and fucking bullshit when it comes to that kind of thing. But no, finally saw Get Out, and it was really good.
Oh, nice.
It's fucking, like, I didn't expect it to go in certain directions.
Yeah, I have no idea what it's about, really.
It's probably best that you don't learn anything about it.
It's best that you just go in.
And I'm quite... So if you guys want to talk about it, I'm just going to take my headphones off for a sec.
I'm not going to talk. I'm just going to say that I mean, it's basically, it's like a horror movie / kind of like psychological kind of horror movie, and it's fantastically written. The characters are great. Good story. Yeah. No, it's just really good. Very much enjoyed it. Can heartily recommend.
Yes.
Excellent.
It's good. Also, yeah, seeing as I'm going to talk about a movie from like 1962 now.
Ooh.
Fistful of Dollars.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. I was sitting there going, it's like, I've never seen a Clint Eastwood movie. I should see a fucking Clint Eastwood movie. So yeah. And like, yeah, it's not that bad. I thought I'd have a lot of trouble. I thought that, it's very off the time. I thought there'd be a hell of a lot of like active racism and just really uncomfortable themes that just would not fly nowadays.
Yeah.
But it was actually pretty good, apart from the fact that, half of the, obviously he rolls into town as the great white hero.
Wow.
Yeah, well.
But
it is what it is.
Again,
Yeah,
the time.
I mean, that's not changed so much in film yet, so...
It's getting there, so it's not so
slow
bad.
progress.
Yeah, but no, like credit where credit's due, it has been getting better, and that makes me very happy. But yeah, so he rolls into town... And obviously, like, there's a woman, it's like, because everyone else is Mexican, because, cowboy movies and stuff. And there's, like, one guy I'm pretty sure they just painted orange.
Hey, come on! You're talking to someone that watches kaiju movies, where you will just find entire tribes of people that are all in blackface, and you're like, ooh, okay.
The times were weird. And there's like there's like a couple of women in it. Like one of them where you can kind of tell that they kind of wanted to, like, she's like the damsel in distress, and I can't remember her name. Mariol or something. She's supposed to be Mexican, but she's like the whitest woman. It's like, not saying, you know what I mean? It's just kind of like, And like, so he's just kind of like, he's just helping her out randomly, and she's like, why are you helping me? And he's like, I knew someone who was like you, I guess, whatever, fuck off. But no, it's basically, if you don't mind spoilers for a movie that's like fucking 50 plus years old.
I could not care less.
Okay, that's hurtful, but okay. But yeah, he rolls into town, and like the best character is, I can't remember his name.
He's a good character then.
I can just remember Clint Eastwood's name, like
What's his actual name?
His
His name's Clint Eastwood, by the way.
It's Joe.
Okay. Joe Eastwood.
Joe Clint Eastwood. That's his name. No, in Fistful of Dollars, his name is Joe, and he goes in, and like the innkeeper's great. Like, I love that guy. He's fantastic. And like he goes in, and they're like, "Oh, we don't get travelers around here." And he's like, "Okay, well, I'm thirsty and I'm hungry. Can I have a nom?" And the guy's like, "Okay, fine." He's like, "Where is everyone?" He's basically like, "There's two families that are like the Rojas and the Baxters. They're locked in this blood feud, and like the only like everyone's dead. Like the only women in this town are widows, and it's this horrible dystopian little town." And like meanwhile, you can hear hammering. And he's like, no one even does their jobs anymore. And Clint Eastwood's like, well, somebody disagrees. And this is the funniest thing. Like, he opens the blinds, like the shutters behind him, and there's just like the Undertaker sitting in a coffin going, hi! And it's like, okay, that's actually pretty funny. It's like, it did make me laugh a couple of times, which is like, and then it intended to.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
like, huh, okay, yeah, no, that's
Like
pretty
it
good.
did jokes, and the jokes were funny.
Yeah, the jokes were funny. It was kind of weird just because, in the olden days where they would have like one camera placement and the actor would just have to move around in that scope. And I don't know, like coming from today where like you constantly get recuts, re-angles, things like that, it felt very static and strange.
Well, the advent of things like Steadicams and having cameras on the huge crane arms,
Dollies and things.
Yeah, dollies and things.
Yeah.
Like that sort of stuff has only become more prevalent until you get to the point now where seeing a completely static camera is actually pretty unusual. Well, it's not unusual, but
Like a long, drawn out, unbroken singular shot from one camera is really not really done nowadays.
Yeah,
at all. It was the Wild West back then.
Yeah, I mean, we mentioned this when we did our review of Nosferatu, how you look back far enough and the basic conventions of how movies are made today weren't even established, like when you go really far back. And like by the 60s, obviously a lot was established.
There's a lot more established.
But there's still elements of modern cinema that just hadn't occurred yet, because the like landmark films that establish this is how you film these shots, or directors that were immensely influential, just didn't exist yet. So it's a very different time.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's like certain conventions you could see kind of like this would be done this way nowadays, but it's still interesting. It's like a time capsule. It's interesting looking back. But no, the story was it was standard kind of Western fare, like pretty simple. Like, guy goes into town, shit is happening in town. People in town tell him to leave because town has got shit going on. He doesn't leave. He fucks shit up and eventually saves the town. Woohoo.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. But no, so it's actually kind of fun how he goes to each of these families, because he's basically just like a really good, like, he's a dead eye. He's a good shot, and he's incredibly smart. That's like the characteristics are good at shooting, very clever. So he goes to one of the families and he's like, oh yeah, these guys are going to do this, so, give me $500 and I'll sort you out. And they're like, oh yeah, thanks for the info, that's really good. And then he goes to the other one and is like, so these guys are going to be here, because that's where he's told them to be. Like, $500, I'll sort you out. And it's just like, he just keeps getting money. And then, oh god, and then he gets like the shit beaten out of him, and it's really strange, because like they've obviously got prosthetics on him to make him look like he's got like a split in his nose, and he's got a big black eye, big swollen kind of like busted eye, but it's like it looks like clay.
Yeah, the old stuff.
Looked really clay-like, and like the blood was really, really luminous red.
You think that's what you ever seen any of the 70s Hammer horror movies?
As a rule, I try to avoid them.
That looks like literal red paint.
Oh god!
Like bright red. Like,
was that around to get around censors?
I don't believe so.
Because that was a big thing in Evil Dead, where they would use like black or green blood.
Yeah, no,
because that anything else would raise the rating.
A lot of movies just use this very paint-like blood. I'm not sure why.
They call it emulsion, dear.
Well.
But no, and like, obviously he crawls into a cave and gets better, and that, if you remember Back to the Future, Part 3, where he does the whole plate, like when like Biff Tannen's like shooting at him, that's just lifted from this movie, which obviously, because it is quite heavily
the plate under the poncho.
Yeah. Because like it's actually set up quite well, because like the best shooter on the Rojas like family is called Ramon, and he's like got like a Winchester kind of style, and he's like a fantastic shot, and he practices on a suit of armor. And there's like, he's talking to one of the guys, and there's just like a love heart, like of bullets shot out of like the left-hand side of this chest piece. And he's like, oh yeah, he likes to practice on that. So he goes to hide in this mine for a while, and he's like got this door, and this big like metal contraption, I don't even know what it is. And he's just firing over and over again, trying to do the love heart. And then he fires the same place multiple times, and he's like, And you just think, oh, that's just him trying to keep his eye in. It's not. He's just like, can a bullet penetrate this at this distance? It's like, that's kind of clever. So then he goes up and he's like, aha, like, because they're trying to hang the innkeeper, who's like such a cool boy, and he's like, you cut him down, and the guy's like, no, and just shoots him. And then he gets up again and he's like, good shot, try again, and he just basically empties an entire fucking magazine into him. And like then he basically like activates Deadeye and shoots everyone but the sniper. Because that's exactly what it is. And, like, because he's out of bullets, and he's just like, go on then, and drops his plate, and he does that cowboy thing where you fire at the rope that's about to hang someone, which you can't do, but it's still really fucking cool. And then he just shoots the guy, and then he's like, yep, I'm gonna leave before the government gets here.
To be fair, he just shoots the guy and then leaves is basically the Western genre.
Yeah. But no, honestly, it's like it was a little cheesy, but that's just because so many tropes have come from movies like that.
Yeah.
And it's like you can't call them really cheesy or like whatever or cliche if they are the movies that formed these cliches. But yeah, no, I thought it was actually quite a bit of fun.
Okay.
I've got to watch some more. Just see Clint Eastwood sleeping with a fucking cigarillo in his mouth, looking like a very angry little boy. What else? Oh, I got my nose pierced.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you have, yes.
Yeah, that's going pretty well.
Yes, you do now have a piece of metal in your face.
It's good. I like it. I now have 17 total piercings.
Good.
And it's bugging me because I don't like odd numbers. So now I gotta go get another facial piercing. I don't know. I'll figure something out. Video games that are...
video games. This podcast is ostensibly about video games.
Nah.
I feel bad enough as it is, okay? I've been playing quite a bit of Tekken 7.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I've been really enjoying that. They've... Because I grew up on Tekken. I'm very much into Tekken. That was my go-to game as a kid.
Yeah,
Like, Tekken 3 is a fucking masterpiece. Still good till this day.
Tekken 3 is the best Tekken game.
It's
I don't
so
care what
good.
anyone
It
says.
is so fucking good.
Is it Tekken 3 where he has to rescue his daughter again, or is that the second one? See, because Tekken sounds like Taken. Wait, okay.
Get out.
That's the only thing I can
Which is also a
contribute to this.
movie you saw.
Yes! You absolute shit.
I did play Tekken 3, but that is literally the only one I've played. I've not played it since.
You played the best one, so...
Yeah, I don't think it's a particularly contentious opinion to think that Tekken 3 is the best one.
I don't think I realised there was a story until like 10 years after playing it.
Oh god, so Heihachi Mishima, trying to obtain maximum big dick energy, throws his son into a volcano because
No, because that's what lions do, even though they don't.
Okay, Heihachi, do you realise that anyone can edit Wikipedia, yeah?
Yeah.
Maybe double check your sources. Fucking Christ. But yeah, it's just... I'm really ignoring the story because Tekken's stories are abysmal.
You know, I'm just gonna double down on this and state that I don't believe there's a fighting game with a good story.
Evil Zone. Okay, no, that's fair.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Just because the genre does not really lend itself to it. I think honestly, when I think back to like stories in video games, I think the best of fighting games, I think the best one I can actually honestly think of is Smash Brothers Brawl because it's stupid, but at least it kind of is kind of pleasant to experience.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but that's Smash Brothers, and it's kind of a little bit more grandiose than say Tekken. Because the Tekken riders just don't fucking care.
They do not.
What is the story in Smash Bros?
It's basically like a big old crossover fanfiction.
Yeah, well, the big plot in Brawl was like all this kind of weird shared universe, and then there was the Hand.
There was Master Hand and Crazy Hand.
And this like spreading weird like taint. It was weird, but it was all, yeah.
Sorry.
It was all done without any dialogue. It was all communicated just by characters like their expressions and actions kind of communicating the story. It was actually really it was way better than it had any right to be, as I think the point.
I remember the one with snakes in it where there's
Yeah,
like
that's
the
what I'm talking
story.
about.
Yeah, the story mode is like. I just remember him specifically pointing at Princess Peach and
Zelda.
And Zelda. And basically just pointing at both of them and then kind of like pointing at the floor like, you stay here. And they both kind of look at each other and go, ooh. It's like, yeah, fuck Mario. Mario fucking who? Snake is the man. So that's how I wrote my 80,000 word
Snake X Zelda and Peach.
My OT3 fic.
Hardcore, uncensored threesome that just goes on for 80,000 words.
It does, yeah. My magnum opus, really.
Yeah.
They do the hard fucking.
For a long time.
Yes.
But yes, Tekken.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Tekken 7 is pretty good.
Yeah, I absolutely hated 5 and 6. Those were fucking garbage, in my opinion. They were horrible games. Fucking Christ.
I didn't think 5 was that bad.
It was bad. It was so bad.
I didn't mind 5 that much at all.
I mean, you're not going to be wrong if that's that's your choice, but
I mean, it was no 3, but
is anything?
I would. Can I just hazard a guess? Is the reason why I hate it so much because it had the the arcade mode and stuff would rank you all the time.
Yeah.
So when you came back to the game after not playing it for a while, you would play as the character that you really liked, and then you'd get demoted because you're
over
out.
and over and over and over again because the AI is bullshit.
Because it would say, well, you're playing this character, and on the save file you've played him for 50 hours, and just because you haven't played it for like 6 months,
yeah,
we're still going to pit you against the enemies.
Yeah.
that's
like,
super hard.
Yeah, that was it. And it's like, I didn't like it. I don't like the whole shift to, like, online play, and I really fucking don't like how it's like, oh yeah, all characters are unlocked from the beginning. Now you have to buy the extra ones. That I really fucking
yeah,
like.
but
it's games industry kind of right now is literally. I mean, fucking don't get me started on the next Call of Duty.
Oh,
Jesus fucking Christ!
In fairness, there is a bit of a difference. Like, it's not just buying.
No.
The
To be fair,
characters
Tekken 7 is literally just like, I think there's 3 characters you can buy,
and they're
one of which is like complete loser, like vampire girl designed by a 12-year-old. Who literally, like, this, you can still fight them in, like, treasure hunt mode and stuff like that. And she just looks at the sun and goes, ooh. It's like, okay, that's literally her with a finger in her. That's fucking great. I know, like, fighting games are really shit for, like, both men and women. Like, and I don't know, Giant Bane cosplay? I don't know. Whatever the fuck Gygas is.
Oh.
But yeah, it's like nobody gets out of that looking okay.
Yeah, but
you can get like Geese Howard, and you can get Noctis. I don't know why you'd want.
Geese.
I don't know why you'd want. Yes, Geese Howard.
Geese.
You can play as Geese Howard.
It's literally you remember Flock of Seagulls? This is a herd of geese.
Okay.
Yeah. You heard of geese?
I've heard of geese.
Well, he's in Tekken now.
Okay, good.
I think he's in from Final Fight or something.
He's something like that. Fatal Fury, I can't remember.
Fatal Fury, actually, I think he's right.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a handful of extra characters.
There's a few, and it's like...
I will say, I think the comparison of these guys to unlockable characters in old fighting games is not 100% fair.
No, that's not fair, but at the same time, it's just... Like, it literally, like, it's immediately put me on the fucking, like, angry, like, defensive, because... As you start, it's like, oh, Tekken bowling, it's grayed out because you have to buy it, and it's like, okay. But yeah, like, it's like really pissed me off because I actually unlocked in the treasure mode, which is basically grind for cosmetic stuff, which you can't buy. You just use, like, every fight you win, you get money. Or even when you lose, you get a bit of fight money. And it's that kind of thing. So I like that.
Is the actual currency called fight money?
Yeah.
Great,
it's just money that you get for
fighting. Yeah, fight money.
Yeah. And, like, you can get all these random, like, you can put, like, characters who are literally in a bunch of strings or characters who are just like, I'm just going to be shirtless and show off my tiny little nipples. Or, like, fucking Devil Jin, who looks like he's on his way to a Linkin Park concert. You can just put them in jeans and a t-shirt and it's amazing. It's like, it's worth it just for that. But no, I got an unlock for Geese. And I was like, oh, you mean that DLC character that I'm never going to fucking buy?
Yeah, that's not good.
No, that's not good. And that did piss me off. Because he's not even on the roster because I haven't purchased him. So I'm not going to. But yeah, no. I have been having fun with it. Despite all the fucking really heavy bullshit we just went through. Jesus Christ. It's like fucking 30 degrees today. I cannot deal with this bullshit. Also... Before anyone sits there and goes, but you're Australian. I thought you guys can okay, no one can deal with that kind of heat. And the thing is, in Australia, we have this beautiful invention called air conditioning, which literally saves lives.
Well, I mean, in the long run, it's literally going to kill more people than save. But
okay, but...
Let's not get into that.
Now I'm just sad. But no, like... That's what we have. We have air conditioning. We don't just have fans. We have air conditioning, which makes cold air and then blows it all over you. And it's amazing. The English don't have that.
Why would we? It's cold 90% of the time.
It's cold and damp the majority of the time. 56% of their days are overcast. They don't have fucking any need for that. So yes, it's warm. But no, I've been enjoying it. It's been fun. Been playing a lot with Longfang and whatnot. Seeing as he is the fight game master. It's been a lot of fun. Can recommend. It's just nice to kind of pick up for like 20 minutes, grind out a few loot boxes, basically. Well, cosmetic boxes. They're literally loot boxes that you can't actually buy with real world money or any in-game currency, and that makes me very happy. Yeah. You get one after every fight.
That's cool.
In treasure mode, so it's just like, it's so much better. It's good. But yeah, and also, like, fucking completely in love with Shaheen and Miguel. I've decided that everyone in that game, apart from Steve Fox, is my boyfriend or my girlfriend.
Okay.
They're lovely.
Even Jack?
Yes. He's Robo-Boyf.
He's a terrifying, large Russian robot man.
It doesn't mean that I don't love him.
That's fair.
Because, everyone in there is lovely. And good. But not Steve Fox. Just don't like him.
Why Steve Fox?
Just don't like him.
Like...
Steve Fox.
Other characters are worse than him?
Like who? Okay, maybe not Heihachi.
Jin's kind of a wanker.
I would be his girlfriend, and then I'd hit him with a ruler anytime he was being a twat.
What about you? Don't you dislike Alyssa?
I don't dislike Alyssa. I just think her design's a bit hokey.
Okay.
Why?
You've expressed much harsher opinions about her in the past, so
okay. You'll notice that's when I'm fighting her. I don't. It's like with Asuka. I hate fighting her. I think she's cool.
Okay.
I am so sick of being attacked by you today.
No, I'm not attacking you at all.
I'm sorry I've disrespected your glorious and untouchable waifu, Alyssa Boskonovich. I'm so sorry that your cyborg waifu has been completely completely trounced by me verbally.
I don't
Why don't you go cry and rewrite The Last Jedi about it?
I was just confused because the previous statements you've made did not line up with what you just said.
Yeah, okay, sure.
You explained and now that's fine.
Right, okay.
We're having a discussion.
Yeah.
No one's attacking you, it's okay.
No one's attacking me! No one's attacking a fucking, precious cyborg wife.
Are you okay today?
No! Matt, what have you been doing?
Do you want to move on to the next topic?
Yes.
What's the next topic?
It's you!
Oh, it's me?
Yes!
Okay.
That's what I was asking you. Okay, so, everyone in the comments, tell me why Wib's garbage.
Yes.
For liking, Eliza Boskonovich.
Is it Alyssa or Eliza? I always forget her name.
Like, every fucking game the announcer says, pronounces a bunch of names different.
Yeah, that's always frustrating. You think
Powell.
Powell?
Yeah, Powell Phoenix.
Okay. Okay. I'll talk about what I've been up to then if we're going down that road.
Oh, fuck off. I have had 3 hours sleep. I am literally marinating in my own, murder juice. And I've had 3 hours sleep.
Okay, then how about I get through my stuff and then you can stop being in this warm room sooner?
No.
Because if we just spend our time complaining about how much sleep we've had, then we're in this room for longer. And now you're really angry because I'm pointing out the obvious. It's okay. We'll be out of here soon.
Stop touching me and start getting on with your fucking segment, will you?
Okay. So I also have not had a great deal that I've done in the last couple of weeks, although that is partially because the latest Codex Compliant should be out by the time you listen to this.
Oh, nice.
And I have been working on that, and the editing has taken a long-ass time, and the whole thing has just taken a long time.
For my benefit and no one else's, because everyone else will be able to check. What's it on?
It is on the chapter-approved compilation from 2001.
Okay.
Which is a bunch of stuff that was originally printed in White Dwarf. Sort of all compiled into one big book with tons of extra rules and just extra bits of guff, which are quite fun, including a whole vehicle design rules thing, which allows you to make whatever vehicles you want.
My poor sideways Jim.
And it's pretty great, and you can pick up relatively cheaply off the eBay if you feel like doing that.
Cool, man.
But yeah, it has taken quite a long time. As I say this, the editing's not quite finished, and we need to record our in front of camera bits, but there's only a couple of bits in it, so that'll be done. And yeah, should be up by the time you hear this, so it's all fine. And if it's not, then I'll just bleep that entire segment with no context.
Just don't cut it, bleep it. The whole
I'll
thing.
bleep it.
Bleep the previous minute and a half,
Yeah.
because that's literally what EDM is nowadays. Just
I don't know
that
if it
long
is.
uninterrupted tone.
I think that's actually. I think that might be a dial tone. That's not actually music.
Okay.
That's not the whole music. You've just not dialed the number correctly.
Do dial tones even exist
Yes.
anymore? I don't know. That sounds fake.
We're still using the same phone system that we've had for decades,
I don't
like
know.
a century or must be. It's the same basic system.
I haven't used it for a little while, so it's probably fake.
We don't have our own phone, that's true.
No.
Anyway, Codex Compliant, yes, taken up a lot of time. There is a little thing I'd like to mention, because we were sent to our PO box a couple of books, and I'd just like to say a big thank you to Storm Knight, who sent in both the Realm of Chaos books to us.
Yeah, thank you so much. Oh my god.
Yeah, thank you so much for that, because if you know anything about the Realm of Chaos books, you know why someone sending them to you is a little bit... Overwhelming. They're quite expensive to pick up, and they are very, very interesting and cool, and bridge stuff between old Warhammer Fantasy and 40k in sort of the Rogue Trader era, and give loads of backstory and fleshed out the Chaos Gods. Really interesting books. I've read through a bit of them because they are fucking massive. Mm-hmm. And they will be a future episode of Codex Compliance.
Absolutely. How could we not?
It'll probably end up being quite a long one because the books are quite thick, but those are great.
Juicies.
And yeah, thank you again, Storm Knight.
Yes,
thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
On a 40k note, I've also been building the Renegade box set that we talked about the other week.
Yeah, those who follow the Snipe and Wib Play Twitter, which is at Snipe and Wib
Play.
I can never remember. You will have seen that Wib started on his shoulder pads of his big lovely Nighty boy. And I think I can say, on behalf of everyone that's seen those, fuck you.
Yep.
How fucking dare you? How fucking dare you? Freehand, you prick.
I painted a deer.
Yeah, fantastically, and I'm so jealous. No, seriously, it looks fucking amazing, and I hate you.
Thank you. I've got the other shoulder pad to do, which has got checks on it.
Oh,
so,
nice. You love your checks.
Annoyingly, I started painting them as blue and black because I thought that'd be interesting. But actually, I'm probably going to go over the blue with white or cream and make it kind of a classic checker pattern because I think that'll
very nighty.
I think it'll break it up a bit better because I think it just looks a bit too NES color palette when you use the blue and black. But yeah, so assembling that, not fully magnetised, but mostly magnetised.
That's another thing that blows my mind.
Which is always fun to do. So, yeah, hopefully, like, the Knight for me is fully assembled.
Mine is getting there.
Yours is, like, partially assembled at this point. And
that's okay, I still haven't... Well, no, I say I haven't decided on a colour scheme. I'm painting them up like Wolfie anyway. 13th Company colours because that's just... Well, pre-Heresy colours because that's just the best looking Space Wolf colour scheme. That's just how you paint your Space Wolves anyway. That's just how I paint them, which confuses some people.
Yeah.
Like, Snipe, when are you going to finish your Black Templars? That's a great question. Fantastic question. Thank you for asking it.
Someone who apparently doesn't know that Black Templars are supposed to be black.
I may have, like, changed it to be really obviously not Space Wolf, so it's like, hey, when are you going to finish painting your Imperial Fists? Like, yes. My grey Imperial Fists.
But yeah, so slowly getting through that. The terrain is fucking massive.
It is huge.
Like, it stands significant, like the whole thing with, like, the full height of it stands significantly taller than the Knights, so it's
taller than I am.
Yeah, I've actually magnetised part of the terrain as well, because I'm that kind of arsehole.
Okay, but so to be fair, that was for, like, security reasons.
Oh, yeah.
Because if someone came in and pointed a gun at us, then the magnets...
What?
I said for security reasons, and then I realised how fucking stupid that was. I was like, yeah, it's for home defence.
I assumed you were going somewhere with it.
You've heard me talk before.
That's
you know
true.
I am never going anywhere with anything.
I should have known better.
You should have. Honestly.
But yeah, it's fucking massive, and I've magnetised parts of it just so it can be assembled and disassembled really easily. Because there's some parts that you would have to glue huge chunks together. Because it looks like it's modular, and it is modular, but it's not like the sort that you can put together however you want on the fly.
Yeah.
Like, you do have to glue certain things in place to make them all sit together, because otherwise you just knock them over constantly in play.
I like the big silver colour boy.
Do you want to say that again?
Mm-hmm. Sorry.
Or do you...
I like the big servo skull boy.
Okay.
It's hot and I'm tired.
No. But yeah, so Renegades nearly together. Good kit. There's a few parts that didn't fit together super good, like the battle cannon, but I don't know if that was...
That liquid green stuff is required.
So, not even liquid green stuff, that was proper full-blown green stuff.
Okay, clay is required.
Fucking plastic hardened clay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if that's just the sprue that I got had a slight mismold on those parts to make it awkward to fit together or what, but yeah, that whole section, the actual cannon part didn't fit on very well.
You did great though. It looks like there's nothing wrong with it. So.
Oh, bless you. But yeah, so I had to do all that. But yeah, so that's taken up a lot of time, just because even though the kit's relatively easy to put together, there's a lot of it because they're big things. So it's taken a remarkable amount of time. But yeah, the only other thing I've really got to mention is that we played Hollow Knight.
Oh yes, I watched that this morning.
That was so cute.
And it is fiercely adorable.
I honestly don't think I'd ever be able to get on with the gameplay because that's just not really my kind of thing. But dang, I wish I could get on with it.
Yeah, I'm going to go back and play some more of it because it is just this kind of Metroidvania style game. Like it starts off very basic, and I've already gained some new abilities. It does have the interesting thing of that all your abilities like use your all the abilities seem to anyway use the same pool of energy. And by default, that heals you. So, in a fight, you have that whole thing of, do I use my energy to attack people or to heal myself? So there's an interesting risk-reward thing there.
It's kind of like, dealing with mental illness.
Okay.
Do I attack other people or do I focus that inward?
Maybe a little dark.
Sorry, I thought I'd make a joke, but it turned out the joke that I made was way worse than anything Wib was saying. Oh, okay, I've got another joke.
Alright.
To lighten the mood. What do we want? Low-flying airplanes. When do we want them? Yeah.
Get out. Just leave the room.
It'll be cooler in the hallway, so I'm tempted, honestly.
But yes, Hollow Knight, it's adorable.
You're a little bug boy.
You play as a little bug. He's a little beetle type dude. And the animation is fucking gorgeous, the music's great, and general atmosphere, like the whole world to explore is really interesting.
Colour palette's very limited.
You save little caterpillars.
Caterpillars.
Have you worked out why yet?
No.
No, it literally is
It's his own reward, yeah.
Sure.
I don't know if it's like a collectible thing that doesn't do anything but give you an achievement or what.
I don't care. I just want them to
be
be free.
I mean, I guess I could look it up, but I feel that part of the thing of like those sort of games is to try and find those things out naturally.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll play it for another half an hour and then get frustrated when I can't find out what the caterpillars do and I'll just look it up. But for that half an hour, I'll be fully invested. But yeah, seems pretty good. Obviously, I've not played like the hugest amount of it, but from what I've played, seems pretty great.
First impressions seem pretty strong.
Yeah, so I guess we'll move on to the questions.
I did put a question. I did put a request out for the lovely listeners at home that they send us in some waifus or husbandos to rate, because I just feel like, I am the ultimate authority on husbandos and waifus, and if I say that you can't have that, if I say that your husbando or waifu is crap, then you got to try to find a new one.
Yep, that's how that works.
That's exactly how that works. So I hope that you'll realise what you've done.
Yeah, well, we've had a few of them in, so...
Oh, good.
I might have to open up Google's, because it's probably going to be like, oh yeah, like I like this person from this manga that I've never fucking heard of.
Yeah, so some people sent pictures and some people didn't, so I had to Google them.
Okay.
But we'll go through the questions, and so I won't bunch them all together because that involves doing some work.
That's fair. Also, send pictures if you can.
Yeah, we'll do.
Okay.
First up, I'm preloading this with the Incredible Hibby emailed in.
Yes.
And did me a fan art.
I know, I saw that on your Twitter, and it's awesome.
Is excellent. It is like two fists that say "Love Sofa" on, and it's
like tattooed on the knuckles.
I've made it my Twitter. I checked that I could, and then I made it my Twitter picture, and hopefully I've credited. I didn't have like an actual @ tag thing, so I've just credited the name. But hopefully that's enough. If not, I can update it.
But yeah, it's fucking great.
It is really good.
Yeah,
I love it so much.
Not as much as you love our couch, but...
No. I feel like I could have love sofa and then underneath drawings kind of fits as well.
Yeah, that works.
But it's great, and I just wanted to mention that first.
Yeah, no,
That's fair. Cool. It is rad.
All right, on to some questions. Acidus emailed in. They're thinking of starting their own podcast.
Okay.
So they were wondering, how did you manage to convince each other to start yours, and do you have any tips?
Oh, honey, asking us for tips.
I think we've established we don't know what we're doing.
My tip that I emailed back was the same tip as starting YouTube videos, in that get a half decent microphone. Like, you don't have to spend a lot of money, but just spend a little bit on an actual dedicated microphone, rather than just something built in or a headset.
Also, if it's recording really quietly, plug it into the back USB ports if it is a USB mic, because it's usually a power thing.
Yeah, no, that's not helping today with bloody Skype not behaving at the moment.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, just like literally that's the only thing, is just, also just don't just do what you want. Like, make a podcast you want to listen to. Like, apparently this is a podcast I'd listen to.
The main thing is that you pick a topic and then stick definitely on that topic.
Yes, all the time. Don't ever deviate. If you're a gaming podcast like what we are, never talk about movies, about Star Wars, about anything else.
I think the thing is that we have got to a point where we have people, they listen to this podcast, they wait for it each fortnight, and
because I chalk that up to Stockholm syndrome.
Well, possibly, but we're very grateful for the fact we have listeners, but we've basically done everything wrong.
We have.
We have.
We don't stick to a topic. It's like our fucking podcast is nebula. What is it about? Fuck if I know.
It's like this meandering diatribe about whatever happens to be on our minds at any given time.
Like, I literally spent 20 minutes in a podcast talking about how I needed a hearing test and glasses because I was old as fuck. That doesn't fly usually.
In our defence, we do stick quite well to a schedule.
We do.
So that's something we do that's not shit.
Yeah, that's the thing. You've got to be consistent. Unlike us.
We are consistently inconsistent.
Inconsistent.
Yes.
See,
I can't even be consistent with how I phrase things.
How inconsistent
I am unconsistently inconsistent.
Oh, but yeah, just like...
but to be serious for a second, I know this is a dangerous thing. Just the one thing I can suggest is, like, even though it does seem like we don't have any kind of formal plans, we do have like a set kind of structure to how we do these, and I feel that that's kind of quite helpful, is to say, okay, so we're going to talk about this group of topics here, and you can tangent. Try not to tangent as much as we do. But
he says, looking sternly at me.
But a kind of general overview of the places you want to go is often useful to kind of get down first.
Bullet points about things you want to talk about,
and try and get like people together who you have some. Unless you want to do it on your own, which some people do. Try and get some people you've got some kind of like genuine kind of chemistry with.
Not like us three.
Not like us three.
Who literally, we're not even friends. We don't even talk. like first time Drummer Matt ever met us is when we auditioned him for the podcast. He was like, well, I fuck sofas. And we were like, you're in, mate.
You're in, mate. That's all we need.
You're in the sofa, and also you're in the podcast.
That was the problem. He was actually just fucking the sofa, and we were recording a podcast at the time, and it's like, well, we might as well ask him if he wants to be on.
Yeah, it'd be awkward to like. It's kind of like, you have someone over working in your house. You want to offer them a cup of tea?
Yeah.
You got to offer the guy to get who's fucking your couch in the podcast. It's just one of those politeness things.
But yeah, so a little bit of structure and sort of knowing, like, sort of having a general idea of the sort of thing you want to be. But also don't be afraid to experiment. It's the same with YouTube video stuff, really. Just, experiment, find your own voice.
Also, sound balancing is of monumental importance. Don't blow out people's ears.
Yeah, make sure to... Yeah, that's a big thing. Try to normalise the audio a bit, because it's stuff that goes very, very quiet and very, very loud is kind of frustrating to listen to.
Just look at the waveform. Anything that basically peaks, just lower it down.
Also, if you have acoustics like the room that we're in, get some soundproofing. Don't be lazy like us.
Yeah.
But that's down the line, obviously. Like, if you're just starting, don't fucking worry about that stuff. Just do it, and then you can work on making it better after you've just done it.
And keep doing it.
And if you do one, like, as a pilot, and it turns out to be shit, don't worry. You don't have to upload it. There's no requirement. You can then try new
practice
ones.
runs are completely fine.
The MisanthroPod wasn't our first attempt at like doing a podcast. We did record ones beforehand, and just didn't really like how it came out. And then we tried again, and we kind of settled on something, and we eventually got to the format that we're in now with. Because we originally didn't have Matt. You find things that work and things that don't work, and just you feel your way. Experiment. Don't be afraid of trying things.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can go back to saying stupid bollocks.
Yes, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just make a fart noise. That's fine.
Fart noise is fine. Beast of Bramble Jam, who is started shortening down to Bob, which I quite like.
Oh,
good.
That's a good one. The Bob of Bramble Jam.
Wait, no.
Bob. I like that. Wait, no.
Bob.
Bob Bramble Jam.
Bramble Bob.
Bramble Bob Jam. The Beastie.
Yeah. We've probably mentioned this before, but would any of you respectively get a dog, and if so, what breed?
Yes.
Yes.
And yes.
Yes. All of them.
Yeah.
I would, although I've exclaimed before that I do rather like corgis, in reality, if I was to go get a dog, I would just go get one from a shelter.
Yeah.
Because dog breeding has some dodgy stuff about it, and I'd rather just give a home to a dog.
I'd like a wolf dog.
Like a wolf dog.
Yeah. They're fucking huge.
They are huge.
And they're big, and I would cuddle them very much.
So, I mean, there's loads of dogs that I like, dog breeds that I do think are fucking gorgeous, like fucking Malamutes and German Shepherds.
German Shepherds, I really like German Shepherds. Huskies are amazing.
Yeah, I want to pet all the dogs.
Yeah,
I want to hug all the dogs.
Every time I see a new dog, it's my new favourite breed until I see the next dog.
That's
yeah.
Every time I see a dog, it's my new favourite dog.
Yeah.
It's like, we went to the park with my brother and girlfriend and baby child, and we saw this tiny little dog that was like must have been like 6 inches high. It was such a small boy.
It was a little Chihuahua type thing.
It was so small. I'm like, I love that dog.
It was so small.
And every time we saw it, we'd point and go, oh, small dog. Like every single time.
I'm so fucking easy to please. I see a dog, then I'm slightly happier for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
But yeah, in short, yes, we would have a dog.
Yes. And it doesn't matter what type, because all dogs
and
are
if
amazing.
I didn't have to think about the realities of dog breeding, then I would probably have corgi.
What about a Finnish Valhund?
They're the little corgi husky things. Yeah.
They are corgis if a corgi was a wolf.
Basically, yeah.
That's the best.
I know, they are so cool.
Yeah, corgis if corgis were even better.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, they're really cool little dogs.
So cute.
Wib, do you prefer to be called Wib, Matt, or Mr. Ward?
I think you should call him Mr. Wolf. Mr. Wolf.
I'd prefer not to be called Mr. Ward because
Call him Mr. Wib.
That's the sort of thing that someone would say when delivering a summons to the door.
No, that's the kind of thing someone would say and then add, "You're causing a scene."
Yeah.
Which can be true.
I have no preference about being called Matt or Wib. I generally
call him Wat or Mib.
In the context of the podcast, I just go by Wib just to prevent confusion.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
With the obvious other Matt being here.
Draw Matt.
So
who I occasionally drop the ball and just call him Matt.
You're not often Matthew, are you?
No. Matt calls you Matthew sometimes. Now, who's speaking? Now, people at home, who the fuck did I just address? But no, Wib calls Matt Matthew occasionally. Like, hey, Matthew, what have you been up to?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I hadn't even noticed that. Yeah. Apparently I don't mind that because I hadn't really noticed.
Yeah.
You hadn't even noticed. Dude, do you know that we're recording a podcast right now?
It's like so metric.
Their third question, what made you choose Austrian marches from the 1800s as part of the music for your videos?
That's a very, very interesting and very highbrow question. It's mainly because the copyright is completely fucking worthless. That, and it's so old, and it's performed by military bands that aren't legally allowed to make money.
It's not actually the Austrian march is actually been kind of retired. The ones that we use are Sousa, who's an American composer. He's the person that did Stars and Stripes and things like that.
Yes.
Also, he did the Liberty Bell, which you might know better as the song from Monty Python. Yeah, that's the Liberty Bell. If I'm remembering it correctly. It's all music by him.
Yeah.
That we use.
So what we're saying is we are basically the next Monty Python.
Yes. That's why some of the songs do sound a little Monty Python-esque.
Yeah. Which kind of works, actually.
Yeah, it's how it happened was just having a bit of music behind them sort of helped tie things together and make them feel...
We did have some, like, games that we did, like, early videos where it was just silence and just us. And it was very jarring just going from, like, clip to clip. And it didn't feel like it kind of was a whole kind of piece.
Yeah.
So you had the bright idea of putting music behind it?
Yeah. Now I'm second guessing myself. Sousa is American, isn't he?
They make the music.
You know what? I am just going to very quickly check. I'm going to make sure because I basically know shit all about
Sousaphone. American composer.
He was American, yes.
He's available on Spotify.
He is. But yeah, it was just something because we were looking for like public domain music, and military music is public domain. If it's made by a military band, because military bands can't hold copyright, so they all become public domain. And so we just started using them just as a bit of sort of slightly upbeat and whimsical music to have in the background. Occasionally it's replaced with stuff that's from the game, but I don't know, it's sort of just become...
Not often, because then we get copyright fucking hammered really hard.
That's not actually the reason I don't do it, honestly.
Well, no, I remember like a few times we were like, oh yeah, we'll just use music from the game, and then we get fucking smacked.
Not in that context, it's always when we use it for the intro and outro that would happen. When we use it, it's often, it doesn't get put in there because it doesn't sound right. Because the music from the game... sometimes won't give the right tone for the video. It's weird.
Okay.
So yeah, but when it does provide the right tone, that's when I tend to throw it in. But yeah, I don't know. There's no real sensible reason. It's just that was what kind of occurred to us at the time, and we've just kind of stuck with it.
Fair enough. It sounds good. I like it. Next up, we've got our first waifu.
Oh yes.
So Leon said their waifu is Fire the Ursus Claws, aka Latara.
Okay, that's a fantastic waifu. Like, I don't know if like you could even call her a waifu, because that sounds like it's almost demeaning in a way, because she's so amazing.
Latara Saren.
Yes.
She is the captain of the Conqueror, the flagship of the World Eaters pre-heresy, and during the heresy.
And she is amazing.
Yes. She is solid 10 out of 10.
No, I'd say she's like 41,000 out of 10.
Hey.
Oh, wait, no, it's probably like 30,000 out of 10, actually.
Yeah, it would be 30,000.
Sorry. I'm going to give her 41,000 out of 10 anyway. Yeah. I ain't give a fuck.
I don't know what happened to her after the events of Betrayer. I've not read much after Betrayer chronologically.
I'm going to headcanon that she went away and had a really good milkshake.
Nice.
I'll put it down.
Really good. Like, you know when like it's a bit of a warmer day and it just gets you just right, and she's like, oh, there's just the right amount of flavouring, and it's nice and cool. And they've used ice cream, it's not just milk, it's like a really thick, nice kind of...
Just to point out like how cool as a character she is, at one point she goes and shoots a space marine, a world eater no less, in the face with a las gun, knowing it won't do dick to him, just to prove a point. Just to send a message that she's pissed off with
That's
him.
how big her girl balls are.
And the guy's like, basically, did you fucking just do that? And she's like, yes, I fucking just did.
What are you gonna do?
She's cool.
Yeah, she is phenomenal. That's a fantastic choice of a beautiful, beautiful and very strong wife.
Very cool character.
Love her.
Good. Next up, the Alpha Boss emailed. Which I got the email, I was like, ooh, hi!
It's the Alpha Bus, ladies and gentlemen.
Coming to invade all of your podcasts.
Yep.
I've got some pictures for you.
Oh.
Has he sent pictures of himself as like, I am the best husbando?
There we go. I have some pictures. For everyone listening, Boreal, is that how you pronounce it?
Yes.
Yes, Boreal.
Yeah.
Yes, I am familiar with this picture. Is this for us to rate as a waifu
or is he
husbando?
just like just trying to?
It is a husbando choice.
I'm gonna give that picture of Boreal a 3 out of 10.
Only a 3.
Yeah.
Is it because the mouth is so wide?
I don't like he wide mouth.
He wide mouth.
I would be so if I married that guy, I'd be sitting there, and I'd be eating a sandwich, and he'd just come in with that mouth and hoover up everything.
Yeah.
In like a 5-foot radius, there'd be pens going in there. There'd be maybe half of my hot beverage.
But there might be bits of you which could be sexy. So.
Okay, but I don't really want. I don't. Okay.
Okay, I'm just gonna say.
Trying to figure
this sounds like Matt has his own opinions.
Yeah, Matt.
about Boreal here. So do you want?
Well, I mean, the wide mouth has its uses. What can I say?
what for?
What's your rating? What's your rating out of 10 then, Matt?
I give him I reckon it could be wider. So I'm going to go a solid 7.
Solid 7.
Solid 7 for Boreal.
No, I'm gonna go in the middle. I'm gonna go a 5. Like, I'm not saying no. I'm open to the idea, but would not be my choice. As sacrilegious as this may be, I'm sorry.
I mean, I'm just judging by the mouth. I don't really know what else he does.
He does the mouth, but no, I just don't want him to come in and hoover up every little thing.
Fair.
So I've got models on the table, Boreal. Fuck's sake.
he would hoover up your models,
and I'd have to like build like a mouth kind of inlet, like an insert, which would basically like hook around like his teeth, and it would be mesh at the back. So it's like, when you want to hoover something delicate, and you put like a bit of a stocking over your hoover pipe. You go, so you don't like ruin it or anything. I'd have to do that with his mouth. And like once a day I'd have to go and get like hair clumps and fucking like toothpicks and Legomans and like 40k stuff out of the back of it, and he'd probably be screaming the whole time.
Probably.
And I don't know if I can do
if he's screaming, how is he sucking in? Or
I don't know.
He's inward screaming. It's like you can do inward singing. It's inward screaming.
It's like an inward scream.
Yeah, he's in. It's that noise, and I'm just like, fuck's sake! Why did I marry you? I knew what you were like when I married you. Jesus. And it turns out we didn't actually get married because he can't actually speak properly because he was too busy doing inward screaming the whole time. So he never technically said I do, but he did sign the registry, so fuck if I know.
Matthew, please move on.
Okay, next up, Will. Another. They've suggested a waifu and a husbandu.
Okay.
Oh, I like the husbandus.
Husband. Why did they pronounce it like that?
I don't know. It sounds like the Australian way. Oh yeah, husbandus.
Yeah. So their first video game waifu, and undoubtedly the best companion in a game she's featured in, is Rose of Sharon Cassidy, the redhead caravan cowgirl from Fallout New Vegas.
I'm not familiar with her.
No.
I'll tell you what. I'll look up a picture.
We will Google her,
and we'll go entirely off images because I've only played a little bit of New Vegas.
Yes, we know it's the best.
Rose of Sharon Cassidy. Go.
Okay.
I don't know. Images.
So we've located some anime mods for her, which kind of makes me very unhappy.
Oh, is it the woman in the starting area? By the look of it.
Maybe. Don't know. She's ginger and she's a cowgirl. I can get behind that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've also figured out that Tekken 7's character, Lucky Chloe, is literally, like, someone... I was playing it on stream, and she's, like, this short blonde girl with kitty ears, and someone in stream was like, oh, shit, it's Ruth. Yeah. So Ruth's in a Tekken game.
Good.
Okay, I'm looking at the wiki, and though Cass does definitely have a major case of Bethesda face... I mean, what would you rate?
I like me a strong woman.
And she does wear a cowboy hat
cowgirl.
sometimes.
I like hats. I like guns. I'm gonna give her an 8. Just on like appearance alone.
I wouldn't go that high. I'd go for a 7.
I'd say that I am being personally attacked by this character. Because she the tough cowgirl with a cool gun. So yeah.
Do you have a rating, Matthew?
I was going to go maybe like a 6 or 7, but one of the quests that she's involved with is called Beyond the Beef, so I'm going to go up it to an 8.
That's fair.
Yeah, no, that's good.
That's fair.
That's good. I'd like to get beyond her beef.
Do you know what you mean by that?
No.
Okay.
And as for the husbando, if they had to choose, Colonel Roy Mustang from Full Metal
I
Alchemist.
like the name. That's a very strong name. I think I might know of him.
Colonel what now?
Colonel Roy Mustang. He's the flame alchemist from Full Metal Alchemist.
I have seen in total about 15
it's
minutes.
this guy.
Yeah,
I thought it
likewise.
was going to be the really big, strong guy.
Oh, you were thinking of Is it Armstrong?
Yeah, I was thinking of, now that's a husband. This guy, he looks okay.
He has a strange case of no forehead.
Which is, I mean, fine.
Oh,
He has a very long face.
Yeah.
I know nothing
His
of his...
eyes, you know what? No, I can't. I'm digging the hair. I like it how he's usually smiling.
Some of the Google images
Some of the
also
Google
smiling.
images. But yeah, no, I mean, I'm going to give this guy... I'm quite neutral on this guy, so I'm going to give him a 5.
Someone's drawn him as a dog.
I see that, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that ups,
So
that
I want
ups
to
the
put that
rating
to
somewhat.
6 right now. So yeah, I give him a 6 because someone drew him as a dog.
I'm not feeling him. I mean, I don't hate it, but I'm really not feeling it, so I think about a 4.
So you do like kissing with him, but that's probably it.
It'd be perfunctory.
Okay.
I mean, maybe he's got a great personality in the show, but I've not seen...
That's the thing, we don't know, so
the
we're gonna
clips
have
of the
to
show I've seen didn't feature him, so I can't...
Judging purely on appearance, he's not nearly tattooed or bearded enough for me.
That's
Honestly,
fair.
that's a big thing
So-
I'm having a problem with too. So I'm just gonna give him
Okay.
yeah.
Alright, next up,
I like this game.
Reek the Canadian Guardsman Medic.
Hello.
Apparently the last episode almost brought them to tears in public, and they got a few glances of what the fuck is wrong with you glances, which is...
Oh no, is that a
always
good
fun.
or a bad thing?
I think it's a
hope
great
we
thing.
didn't make
I
you
love being in
sad.
public, and just unexplained random laughter in public is great.
Okay, I'm gonna say that no, it's not, because I remember I went for a jog. This was a year ago. I went for a jog at something like fucking 6 in the morning because I got up really early, and I was running past there's a very specific area in the place we used to live where all of the elderly live.
Yeah, oh.
And I was running past there, and I was listening to the Podquisition, and something so fucking weird happened. I literally just burst out laughing hysterically and had to stop dead. And I was out of breath from running, so it was I was like this horrible. And I honestly must I got out of there pretty quickly, but I would not be surprised if the police were called because of all these frightened elderly people.
A strange terrorist attack occurred at 6 o'clock this morning.
Bizarre terrorist attack. I noise bombed them apparently. But yeah, no, but I hate walking out. If I'm listening to a podcast, I'll be walking around and suddenly someone will say something funny, and I'll be like, "Hey," and then I'll have to go back to stone face immediately, which I think makes me look even weirder.
I think this might be
A me problem.
a you problem. And people don't like to be embarrassed, but no one really judges someone if they're listening to something and you hear them. No one really judges anyone.
I think it's great fun.
I
I enjoy it.
But yeah. Again, I hope it's just we didn't make him cry because the podcast was bad. He's like, "Oh, it's so terrible."
Tears of laughter. So I think
Okay.
that's probably a good thing.
I'm hoping so.
They flipped. Their next question was flipping it back onto us. They've said what our favourite 40k waifus and husbandos are.
Well, we've already had mine, which is Latara Saren.
Yeah, she sounds great.
She is good.
I think you may have stated Gazkul in the last Q&A.
It changes from day to day. I'm a woman of discerning tastes.
How about Logan Grimnard? He's a good guy.
He's okay. I don't know. How about I'm kind of feeling Loken right now.
Yeah,
Loken's
that's
really
the
cool.
one you
Garviel
go for.
Loken's pretty rad. I like him. He's a good boy.
He's
The most handsomest Marine in the 41st millennium, apparently.
that
One picture that I have is my wallpaper right now.
Yeah. He has the smolder in that picture.
Jesus Christ, he's giving us a little bit of pout. He's giving us intensity. Oof. It's just what?
Also, he at one point goes by the pseudonym Cerberus,
Which means Spot.
so
Because he's a puppy.
we will just call him Spot from now
Yeah,
on.
he likes dogs, so he's the perfect man.
Excellent.
Do you have any of a preference, Matt?
I don't know. I'm trying to think of someone with a good beard, and all I'm swaying toward is one of the squats.
Oh, what's his? There's the new one who's in Necromunda.
Shit, yeah.
Who I always forget the name of.
Squatman McBeerface.
Who I totally am not going to quickly Google.
Yeah, that's
Grendelson.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, double name. Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
I can call him G2 or something.
G squared.
Yeah. Mathematical name, beard, short. Yeah, ticks my boxes.
Yep, there you go.
He'll tick your boxes.
All of your boxes are well and truly ticked.
And finally, they had some suggestions for the new hit game Couchfucker 2K19.
Okay, cool.
Sorry, what? Carrot fucker.
Couchfucker.
Keep up with time.
Sorry.
It was quite a long list, but then I got to one where it involved replacing my voice with Danny DeVito's, and I got so angry about being forced out my own game. I'm not going with any of the other suggestions. I'm sorry, but
okay, Matt,
the game is about me. Because who else is going to play it, really? So
who else is going to love Sofa? Come
Matt,
on.
I'm going to be perfectly honest. If someone said, hey, we're going to replace you in the MisanthroPod, or just the Snipe and Wib channel in general,
or just live
with
in general,
Danny DeVito, then I'd like, you know what, I'm going to step aside.
The thing is, like, I can only do one, like, Danny DeVito voice, and it's exactly the same as my Willem Dafoe voice.
So it's a voice that sounds neither like Willem Dafoe or Dan DeVito then.
It's a little bit New Yorky, which is the closest thing I can say to Danny DeVito.
Can we have just a sample of a couple of the things that were sent in then? I know you're angry with them, Matt, but for our benefit.
Yeah, remember Matt, he's not joking, he is genuinely really mad.
I'm going to have to log into the email because I genuinely didn't print them. My notes literally say long list, and then the next point, Danny DeVito replacing me.
You're just afraid of change, man.
No, he's afraid of Danny DeVito. Oh, God.
So, obviously, Space Marine power armor.
I'd say jump pack so we can get some thrust in there.
Orc knob voice. Don't know if that's for me or for the couch, but
yeah, for the couch though.
Yeah.
Ooh. I was gonna say something, but I honestly don't want that taken out of context.
Probably for the best.
I'm not gonna say
for the best.
Oh yeah, French maid outfit for me presumably.
Yeah.
Which
No.
would be great.
Oh my, dude. Okay, I don't know why, but I can imagine you in a French maid outfit so fucking vividly. And the thing, like, you're not wearing pants, so you've got a fuzzy butt sticking out from underneath the ruffles.
Yes.
Because it's gonna be like the camera's gonna be behind you, right? And like you're gonna see your butt.
Well, I like to feel like you can change the camera angle.
Camera angle change.
Well,
I think that's a stretch goal.
It's going to have VR integration, obviously.
Obviously.
And that has to be first person.
It has to be. But yeah, look down and just see like.
Well, that's one of the kinks we need to work out. In games when you have your first person, you look down and you can't see your body.
You need to see this.
Yeah, we do, because the game kind of loses meaning if you can't see the actual fucking.
Yeah,
that's true.
But at the moment, we haven't got it worked out. Okay, it's okay when you get a third-person camera, it's fine. But when you go into the first person, the legs disappear.
The orientation is difficult.
Like, you can see the body. Exactly. You can see the body down to the waist, but it's just everything below the waist disappears.
Yeah, so like, there's no dingle or anything.
No, which is a bit disappointing.
Yeah, really, because that's what you want to see. You want to see dingle in couch.
Yeah.
Is this something to be worked out in the next patch?
Yeah. We're working hard at it.
Yeah.
We're getting there.
But no, I'm glad that you like. I know that you're not happy with them, but it's good to have your conceptions of your own work challenged.
Yes, it is. Very much is.
And then you
it
can
helps
decide.
You think about things.
Yeah, you can decide whether this is the direction you're going. If it is truly what you want. I mean, I think you should be open to including Danny DeVito.
I think Danny DeVito would make a good narrator.
Well, I mean, he could get involved as well. Like, it can be the both of us.
How about?
Oh yeah, because come on, sofas are long. You can have one cushion each.
Yeah, exactly.
Tag team.
It was more the fact that I felt replaceable was what upset me.
Dude, you are irreplaceable, unreplaceable.
You're unreplaceable,
unirreplaceable.
You're
irreplaceable.
Good. Hans wants us to rate his waifu, Midna from Zelda. Twilight Princess.
I don't know anything about Midna.
My knowledge of Midna, because I've not played, it's Twilight Princess she's from, I believe, and I never actually played that, so most of my knowledge of Midna comes from seeing porn of her.
Yeah, I have experienced the Flash web game where you just fuck Midna.
Yeah.
I remember sending.
I can't remember
that
who
to
sent
you,
it to who.
actually.
I can't remember whose fault it was.
I
you?
sent it to you. I was like, "Hey, draw man, check out this game where you
actually,
can fuck Midna."
I don't mean to tell you that you're wrong, but I'm actually pretty certain it was from when we were looking for other porn games to play on the channel, and Matt just went, well, I'll just type in porn game, and that was one of the things that he found.
I just remember being on mic with him when he was like, well, this...
No,
I'm clicking a lot.
I'm sure it was around our house.
I remember the
playing
voice.
it on his laptop.
No, he's still playing on his laptop.
Well, I know
That's
he's
his
still
favourite
playing
game.
on his laptop, but
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that was how it went down.
I don't remember. It's been at least a month ago.
It was many years ago. I don't blame you for being hazy about it, especially because it was a traumatic event.
But no, I mean, I don't know. Midna seems interesting, but I mean, the fact that she's so small kind of makes me feel a bit worried.
She does have an adult form as well, because that's
everyone
well, no, I mean,
does,
she's
right?
not. I mean,
like that's not exclusive to her. Like I have an adult form.
my understanding.
It just takes me a while to transform into it. I have an elderly woman form that I'm gradually getting.
Okay. My point is that the small version of her is, from what I understand, that's not how she actually looks. That's just a form that she takes, and she has other forms, one of which is more an adult woman. Not that doesn't make me feel very uncomfortable seeing porn of the little version.
Yeah. No, I've seen a lot of porn of the little version, and it kind of makes me a bit creeped out.
Going by all the porn I've seen, she seems like quite a goer, so even though I don't know what a character is like, that does up her to at least a 7.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give her another 5, because I'm honestly quite hard to please with husbandos.
I mean, I've seen a cartoon version of her butthole, so I feel like I can't give her less than a 6.
You owe her that much.
You have to be on quite good terms at this point, so...
Yeah, Midna, if you're listening.
Gnomish Inquisition. Question for Snipe.
Oh.
This is related to the whole thing that you brought on us. You mentioned you were listening to Critical Role. So in keeping with the theme, which of Mercer's characters on the show would be the best husbando material?
Oh, that's really tricky. Oh, okay, so Fjord...
Their vote's for Gilmore, who's from the first campaign, so I don't know if you've got to him yet.
haven't got that one. But no, I'm just going to literally just talk about the character. I'm trying to think. I don't know. Like, is that characters that basically are those non-PCs?
Well, they've suggested Mercer's characters, so that'll be, the NPCs. But...
NPCs...
If you ever think one of my favourite characters who I think would be an interesting fuck, I guess, if this is basically what we're talking about.
Yeah, it's who you want to bone down to bone
is
down.
that it?
Yeah,
I was thinking it was just marriage.
I've forgotten his name, but he's the one of the gunpowder sellers that Percy goes to, and he's got like a proper sort of voice, and he's just he's amazing.
That's the noise he's making when he's doing you.
Yeah, exactly.
Why do you want that? That really?
Yeah, I
really.
That.
I'm not going to be able to look Ruth in the eye ever again. Like little kitty girl who's like.
Don't connect things to real life.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realise there were rules here.
She listens to this sometimes.
Yeah.
More fool her.
And we all love her dearly. I really liked the guy that they go and see him in the second campaign. Jester and Fjord killed like a big snake that like smashed up his house. And I don't know, I just thought he was a really nice guy. And he was like, "Hi guys, thanks for saving me. A big fucking snake dropped on my house. It was the fucking worst." And I don't know, I liked him. He's my husbando. I can't remember his name, but it's that guy.
Okay.
Because he seemed nice. Or there's the Guards Watch leader. She's pretty cool. She's like an angry Scottish dwarf lady who does not take any shit. She's kind of nasty, not in a kind of you nasty, kind of just she's not very nice kind of way. But that strikes me as she would know how to cuddle.
Okay.
So I want to give her a big cuddle.
Okay.
And I like the idea. I'd comb her beard because Terry Pratchett has ruined me because I think that every everything with female dwarves in, the female dwarves should have beards as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I've imagined her basically like Cheery Littlebottom. Like
Yeah.
she's got a nice, got nice hair in a bun. She's got this beautiful big beard, and I just comb and plait her beard for her.
Yeah.
That'd be
I
nice.
see that. I
Yeah.
see that.
So yeah, no one else is allowed to answer. This is a question for
Well, it was
me.
for you. Like,
That makes
and
me
I
feel
don't.
super special.
I have never listened or watched an episode of Critical Role, so I have literally no even concept of what an opinion could be on that.
I'd say my actual PCs, like husbandos / waifus right now, are Caleb.
Yeah, I was about to ask now.
Fjord, Yasha.
Are you just
Bo?
are you reeling off the whole cast?
No. Shakaster. I love him so much. Yeah, and Jester.
Jester's amazing.
Yeah, and Molly. Molly
Okay.
too.
Yeah, so that's all of them.
Yeah, not the cat though. Not from Kim.
You
I don't want it.
You want it on record that you wouldn't fuck that cat.
I would. That cat
specifically.
specifically.
That cat.
Other cats you're open to,
No,
but
I wouldn't
not
fuck
that
that cat because
even
now,
if that cat was open to you.
Yeah, no, I'm not. But no, I love all of them. They're very cool.
Are there any more questions that can get us on?
No,
from
that is actually the last question.
Oh, good. We
Yay.
end the podcast on a high
end
note
on
with the
cat
possibility of cat fucking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I know. No, the possibility of me saying no, I wouldn't fuck Frumpkin because he's a bird now.
But you would fuck a bird, though.
I wouldn't fuck a bird.
You'd fuck a bird.
I wouldn't fuck a bird.
I think you would.
Who are you telling me that I'm going to be
You'd
fucking
fuck
a bird?
Birdmore, and he's half a bird.
Okay, that's really weird, and only us three really get that. And now I feel like we have to explain it. because
Birdmore is my old WoW druid who was a Worgen.
He was Redmore.
His name was actually Redmore, named after Bran Redmore of the Space Wolves, obviously.
Obviously.
But I spent quite a lot of time in bird form
Being a derp.
declaring I am a bird. Because I'm lol so random.
I'd say it was
holds up spork.
He ground out like flying, and when he finally got flying, he could turn into a bird, and he just flew around Stormwind screaming, "I'm a bird."
It amused me far too much, and then
we started calling him Birdmore.
and
like headcanon, like, oh yeah, he gets like stuck in a tree for a few days because if he's in bird form for too long, he starts getting a bit dim.
it sort of became so. Again, to come back to the Discord thing, there's a whole thing of I can't what's it called? Is it sighting or something? Where
the witches do it.
Yeah, where witches can do it, where they'll go into the mind of an animal and sort of ride as a passenger in it. And if they do it for too long, they sort of mentally become the animal. And I think like sort of everyone kind of headcanon that's what happened to Redmore.
Yeah.
If he'd spent time
He
as a
spent
bird,
too long time as a bird, and it was just sending him a bit wrong.
so he would basically end up becoming a character who was on the same intellectual level as a bird but could speak.
Yeah, so I'm a bird. I gotta go do bird things.
And that combined with my desire to just be an annoying fuckwit whilst I was in bird form. So, like, someone would be sitting there fishing.
And you'd be
I'd
literally doing the weird trick where you fly, but then you do like a weird kind of like sideways back, like backflip kind of thing.
Or flying along with my head buried into the water.
Yeah, just like, I'm a bird.
But, like, whilst they're sitting there just flying past them constantly, just being a twat while I was waiting for them to finish whatever they were doing.
I remember specifically the drummer Matt was leveling around Pandaria. And you came up and you were like, hi, I'm a bird. And the drummer Matt was like, hello, bird. And there was that one other person there who got really angry at you. Because you were, like, flapping around them quite violently. And they were like, yes, can I help you? And you were like, yes, I'm a bird. And they were like, for fuck's sake, this is the worst.
Yeah, basically...
Because it was.
Yeah, long story short, I am an annoying arsehole when playing World of Warcraft, and no one should play video games with me.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Whereas I am an amazing asshole during video games, and everyone should wish they could play games with me because I'm really good at them.
On the note of Snipe's amazing arsehole,
Wait. No.
let us wrap up the podcast. If you wish to send any questions to the podcast, what email address should they be sent to?
That's a fantastic fucking question. I'm so glad that you asked.
Do you want to say it, Matt, actually, for a change?
Yeah, only drummer Matt at snipeandwib@gmail.com.
What's that
Yes.
email address again?
Only drummermat at snipeandwib at gmail.com.
One more
And
time.
apparently I can't say it without waving my arms, so sorry if that sounds awful.
I couldn't tell,
There
but
is-
now that I'm getting that visual of you sitting alone in the flat waving your arms.
It's wild
Like with you-
gesticulation.
Yeah, with people, random French people looking into your house going, fucking English, what are they even doing?
Yeah. Do people have a theme for this week?
I kind of like the husbando thing rating, but I want to do something different.
Yeah. How about, because we talked about it earlier, we rate their intentionally terrible opinions about Star Wars?
Yeah.
Okay.
Make up a really dumb opinion, and don't be an edgelord, and don't push up too far. But just all conspiracy theories, or what? Conspiracy theories or opinions?
Like the sort of things that you'll read.
Give us an example. Try and make them
The
pretty
sort
short
of things
and
that
sweet.
people are saying on the internet for real, but are obviously
Okay.
stupid.
Oh, you mean I don't like The Last Jedi because it's obvious that they paid a bunch of raccoons to write it?
Okay, good.
Okay, yeah.
Stuff like that. Try and keep it down to 1 or 2 sentences. Brevity is the soul of wit.
And we'll rate them on believability, because if today I checked The Last Jedi was trending again and I had to click off it because
You don't need to click on it.
I shouldn't have clicked on it before.
No.
That was a mistake because it was a hive of people who.
A hive of scum and villainy.
It was a hive of scum and villainy. It really was.
I made a reference about Star Wars.
Of lots of people making themselves very, very angry about a movie that is several months old now. It's okay. It's fine. Just let it go. It's all right.
It's okay. We can stop talking about it too, But yeah,
Yeah.
tell us why.
Give us
Give us a stupid reason.
Give us the stupid reason.
And we will rate it on
And
believability.
we'll rate it on believability.
I'm liking this themed question.
Yeah,
today.
I like it.
I'm really good at stuff, aren't I?
You'll
Yes,
You're
honey, you're
good.
really good at things.
I
What
definitely.
you're the best at is ending the podcast.
Oh God, that reminds me.
You're the worst at ending the podcast.
Okay, podcast is over.
Okay.
Goodbye, everyone. Go home.
Bye.
Okay, thank you for listening. Goodbye from us 3. Goodbye, Matt.
Goodbye.
No, I'm talking the other one.
Oh,
Goodbye, drummer Matt.
Bye.
Goodbye, Wib.
bye.
Goodbye, me. Bye.
Fucking hell.
Goodbye, me.